Hey YouTube, this is going to be my tutorial on how to build a 3x3x5. But before we get started, I'd like to make an announcement that for the next 7 days I'll be releasing a new video every single day. So, if you like my videos, come back to my channel every day for a new video. So, back to the tutorial. So, this puzzle was made out of a Wood-Eaton Super 3x3, and it's a very easy mod to do. It's great for beginners. So, if you're looking for a new mod, or you just want a cool cuboid to add to your collection, the 3x3x5 is the mod to do. So, this puzzle probably takes about anywhere from like an hour to 4 hours to build, depending on how skilled you are. And like I said, it's great for beginners because it's easy and you get an awesome shape-shifting cuboid out of it. So, for this puzzle, you will need a Wood-Eaton Super 3x3, and the reason this puzzle is so great is because it's already a 3x3x5. The inner circle, which would be the top layer pieces right here, is just locked. And all you have to do is unlock it and glue extensions. You need a Cube for your 3x3x4 or a bunch of Rubik's spare pieces. I prefer the 3x3x4 because it's really easy to make nice clean cubes out of the 3x3x4 top layer. You'll need super glue, screwdriver, you'll need a modeling knife, and you'll need a razor saw. And I also use a miter box to make straight cuts. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do for this mod is you need to remove all of the yellow stickers and all of the white stickers. So once you have all the stickers removed on the white and yellow faces, you can then go ahead and remove all of the other stickers if you want to give it a more professional look by putting Cubesmith tiles on it, as I did with mine. But you don't have to, you can just leave the original stickers right on. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and pop off one of the center caps and use the screwdriver to take it apart. And you can just take the top layer off. You can then go ahead and sort the pieces that you want to keep to build your top layer with are this piece, the edge piece, and the corner piece. These are the pieces that you're going to be gluing your extensions onto. So, once you sort out all the pieces of the Wood-Eaton Super 3x3, you need to take the two centers, the white and yellow centers, that have this lock on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut that lock right off. And when you do that, grab your razor saw and your miter box. And on this piece, I don't know if you can see on this video, you definitely will see it in person, there's kind of like an inner ring in the center cap. And what we're going to do, it's about half a centimeter up from the bottom, we're going to cut right to that ring. So just go ahead and cut that off. And you want to make sure to make nice, clean, flat cuts so that you don't have to sand your pieces. And there you go. And now you do the exact same thing with the other center cap. So once you've cut both center pieces and you're happy with the results, you can go ahead and put these out of the way and grab your 3x3x4. We're going to be using the top and bottom layer of the 3x3x4, and if you don't want to get rid of these inner pieces, you can go ahead and build a 3x3x2 out of the middle layer. And I'll put a link to Smaz's tutorial in the Twisty Puzzles forum below. And this is also a great, easy mod to do. So, go ahead and take your 3x3x4 apart. and then go ahead and organize these pieces as well. And like I said before, the only pieces we'll be needing is this piece right here, the outer layer corner piece, and this piece right here, the outer layer edge piece. So you want to keep these pieces and get rid of all the rest. Okay, so we're going to start making the cuts to make the extensions of the cubies. We'll start with the 3x3x4 corners, and as you can see I removed the stickers because I'm going to put CubeSmith tiles on mine. So, start with this piece, and the way I cut it is I put it on the edge of my miter box, just like that, so that the piece I'm going to cut off is hanging over. And we're going to make the cut, we're going to make it right here, right there, and we're just going to cut this extension off and make this into one solid cube. So, you put it right there, and have it hang over, and push it against the miter box so that the extension is hanging off. And for this you want to make nice straight cuts, because if you don't make straight cuts you're going to have to use epoxy sculpt to level out your piece. So just put it on there, push it all the way against your saw, and very carefully and there you have the piece, and I'll try to get this into focus. You have your nice cube. And now, as you can see, I have all 8 of my 3x3x4 corners cut, and once you have them done, they should look just like this. Just a quick note before you start cutting, you may find that as you're cutting, this cap will pop out. And so what you might want to do before you start cutting is take your super glue and just put a dab in these corners. A little bit there, a little bit right here, so that as you're cutting, this cap stays in place. So, in order to cut these edges, just like I did before with the corner, put it down here. Take your saw, press it against the bottom of the piece, and go ahead and cut. And if you glued down the cap, you shouldn't have any problems with the caps. And you want to be sure to make nice straight cuts so you can glue on the extensions properly. And here's the piece. As you can see, nice straight cut. So, repeat this process for the remaining 8 edges. And as you can see, I have now cut all 8 of the edges, and they look pretty good. However, if you find that you have edges that look a little bit like this one, and you can see it's kind of raised up and the cut's not as nice, you can sand these down. So, if you have a piece like this that's a little rough, the cut's not as good, what you do is just sand down this bottom portion right here that we cut. So, take here and start with the roughest sandpaper you have until you've shaved off some of the distance, the thickness, and then move on to the next one, the medium. And then finally just make it smooth with the fine sandpaper. And as you can see, the piece is now a lot smoother and it's now a cube. If you don't have a 3x3x4 and instead you use Rubik style pieces, what you would do is cut off this piece here by cutting that way, and then that way, and then filling the gap that's left where the hook is, and you do the same thing for this. You would just cut off there and then there, and you can go ahead and fill this piece with epoxy sculpt so that you have nice cubes like these. So once you've cut all of your edge pieces and all of your corner pieces and you're satisfied with the result, the next thing you have to do is make the extensions for your center. And the way you can do that is if you have another 3x3x4 edge or corner, you can just repeat the process and glue that right on here like that. Or you can use a normal 3x3 edge, cut off this extension like I explained before, and then glue the piece on right like that. So either one of these will work fine. And if you use the 3x3x4, you may want to fill it with epoxy sculpt to make it look a little bit better. So once you have your center pieces finished, we're going to go on to the edge pieces. And you will need one of your edge pieces and one of the inner pieces for the super 3x3. And what you're going to do is put a dab of super glue on here and then press these two pieces together so they form a nice extension. And you want to make sure that your piece is on perfectly, because if not, if it's a little off, your outer layer won't line up properly. And I found that using a miter box is very helpful. And what I did was I would set this piece here, put the super glue on here, and then press them together right like that. And that makes sure that these pieces are at a nice 90-degree angle. So once you have all 8 of your corner pieces finished, you can move on to your edge pieces, and you grab the edge pieces from your Wood Eaton Super 3x3 and do the same thing. I used a miter box again and put this piece here, super glue on this piece, and slide it together right like that. And you want to hold it there for a few seconds just to make sure the bond is strong. And you do that for all 8 of the edge pieces. So, at this time, all of your extended corners should look like this. All of your edge pieces should look like this. And both of your extended center caps should look like this. So, once you're happy with all of these pieces, it's time to start building. So, the first thing you need to do is take your 3x3x3 core and put in these pieces, the middle layer pieces. So, once you have that done, you can go ahead and pair up your corner pieces, your extended corner pieces, with the corner pieces right here. So they fit in right like that. So go ahead and pair up all of these pieces and all of the edge pieces, and they pair up right like that. So go ahead and pair all of those pieces up. So once you've paired up all of these pieces, assembling your 3x3x5 should be identical to assembling a 3x3x3. So you just grab 2 pieces at a time and go ahead and pop them in. And then grab a corner piece and pop that in. And you just repeat this until your 3x3x5 is fully complete. So, you should now have your very own fully functional 3x3x5. If you find that it doesn't turn very well, you may want to go back and sand down the extensions that you glued on and right at the extension point. But I found with mine that it turned very nicely and I didn't need to do any sanding. So, if you have any questions about how I did this mod, something I didn't explain right, please just leave a comment below. And just remember to check back to my channel every day this week if you like my videos to see more of them. Thanks for watching.